Hello, and welcome back to 8 White Group A News. Today, we will discuss and educate you about the topic of Islam.
Make sure you stick around to the end for trivia with Sam.
There are many important events that led to the formation of Islam. In our research, we found that Islam started in 610 CE in Mecca. Muhammad found the Islam religion when Angel Gabriel deemed him the prophet. He then went and told his wife, who became the first to convert to Islam.
Muhammad was known as the prophet of Islam. Although there were many prophets before him, he had the most influential impact on Islam. He was given the honor of being the last prophet by Angel Gabriel, who was sent down by Allah. Allah is the God worshipped by the Muslims.
When the public got wind of the Islam religion, Muhammad's teachings were rejected. Leaders didn't want to share their wealth, and public officials feared that if Muhammad grew too powerful, he would gain too much political power. And the public feared that others would stop worshipping their own gods. Also, merchants were scared that people would stop coming to Mecca for trading goods.
Mecca was the best place for the Islam religion to spread because it was a crossroad for many religions, both polytheistic and monotheistic religions. People belonged to tribes and would follow their chief, who was a leader in the small groups. Lastly, it was located by the Red Sea, where many travelers and traders would take their learnings from Mecca, such as the Islam religion, back to their homes.
Islam was expanded and grown over time. At the start of Islam, the population wasn't well known. Today, Islam is the second largest religion group and with about 1.8 billion followers.
Now to Lucas and Talia.
Islam is a very widespread religion across the world. It wouldn't have been this well known if it wasn't for Muhammad.
First of all, we need to understand who Muhammad was and what his early life was like.
Muhammad was the prophet of Islam. He was born in Mecca on April 22nd, 570 AD. His life wasn't always perfect and endured many hardships in his early life. He never had a father around in his life. At the age of 5, his mother passed away, forcing him to live with his grandfather. Even though Muhammad was going through many challenges in his life, he still persisted.
Muhammad starts to accompany his uncle Abu Talib on trading journeys, and he earned the nickname Al-Amin, which meant the trustworthy. Then Muhammad started working for Khadija and traded caravans for her. She decided to propose to him because she was impressed by his honesty and abilities.
After this, he decided to enter a cave to pray. He was visited by the angel Gabriel and is told that he's now the messenger of Allah.
Muhammad was an extremely important figure in Islam for many reasons, such as he was important because he spread the faith around many places. Muhammad strengthened many people's beliefs in Allah. He led his life the way he envisioned Muslims to live their lives. Practice what you preach. Many people admired his vision for his faith.
Now coming at you with Bridget and Mallory.
Worshipping Allah is a big part of Islam because it's a traditional gesture. Muslims do many rituals in different places like a mosque. Muslims wear hijabs and burqas to these places of worship and rituals.
Muslims worship at a mosque. A mosque is a place where Muslims go to honor Allah. There are requirements that a place has to meet to be a mosque. These buildings most commonly have prayer halls, domes, and minarets, but can also vary in architecture.
The holidays that many Muslims participate in help strengthen their faith in Allah.
Very true. One of the holidays is called Al-Hijra. This is where Muslims celebrate the New Year. This holiday celebrates Muharram, the month when Muhammad immigrated from Mecca to Medina in 622 CE. This move was called the Hijra, which is why the holiday is called Al-Hijra.
Another major holiday in Islam is Ramadan. It is celebrated on the 9th month of the lunar calendar. During this month, from dawn to sunset, Muslims abstain food, liquid, smoking, and intimate relations with one another. The Ramadan fast is an extremely important aspect of the Muslim faith because it is one of the 5 pillars of Islam. The pilgrimage rites were established by the Prophet Muhammad. The pilgrimage itself is 6 miles from Mecca. When he or she enters the state of holiness and purity, also known as the ihram, and dons the ihram garments. The ihram garments consist of 2 white sheets that are wrapped around the body.
Thank you, Mallory and Bridget. The real question is, why are people so ignorant? Why do people believe these untrue statements about Muslims?
The fact is, most people don't understand that Muslims are just like us. The similarities between Islam and other religions is evident.
Christianity, Judaism, and Islam are all monotheistic religions based on the virtue of peace.
All 3 religions stress moral responsibility, accountability, and believe in eternal reward and punishment.
Many people don't understand that Islam is very similar to other religions, such as the more popular Christianity.
The media, however, influences our opinions of Islam through TV shows and movies.
The media keeps people updated with current events around the world. When negative messages are spread through the media, whether it be online or on the news, it sticks.
The 9/11 attack has left many people to believe that all Muslims are terrorists and are bad people. Since this has happened, more and more of America's population are looking down on this religion and its followers.
The negative media exposure about Muslims results in more American support for public policies that harm Muslims domestically and internationally, because this group is perceived as aggressive.
Although the views of Muslims are changing, many people are still ignorant and refuse to learn more about this religion.
We can change this by including more positive messages about Muslims and including them in a more positive way than terrorists.
But how do these racist ideas spread through our society?
Good question. There are plenty of ways people can be influenced negatively by racism, like through social media, TV, and sometimes even video games.
Not only that, racism is more common than you might think. In fact, you may see it used in jokes and other things like that. Many people may see or hear these types of things on a daily basis and tell them to other people. For a lot of people, racism is learned within the family. It spreads through the family, meaning that people are not born racist, it's taught to be.
There are also a lot of different kinds of racism, not just yelling or physical abuse, like many people may think. For example, racial name-calling or jokes based off of other races, like we mentioned earlier. This also connects to being a good role model in front of young children to teach them that being racist towards someone else that looks different is not okay. Now on to Alex and Alex.
Thank you, Hannah and Caleb. This is Alex and Alex spreading the truth. To start off, there are so many great examples of outstanding Muslims who have defied Muslim stereotypes. A great one includes Ibtihaj Muhammad. She won bronze in the team Sabri event and now is aiming for the World Fencing Championships. She heard all the stereotypes such as all Muslim women are discouraged and compliant, and that Muslim women only wear black and only speak Arabic, and aren't allowed to play sports. She had the response, I speak English, I like wearing bright colors, I'm athletic, and I'm on Team USA.
Here's some example of influential Muslims.
Nyla Limas created her own fashion line for women of all faiths. Keith Ellison was the first Muslim American to be elected into Congress. Ilhan Omar was the first refugee elected into Congress. Hasna Masnavi founded the first Women's Mosque of America in Los Angeles, and Linda Sarsour was the first co-chair of the 2017 Women's March and the 2017 Day Without a Woman strike and protest.
Handling a situation involving racism or false accusations towards Muslims or any kind of religion can be difficult sometimes, but you can work to prevent it little by little. If the person is telling the false information face to face and you know it's not a true fact, step up and inform the person that the statement they're stating is false and prove why they are wrong.
You can also report it to a teacher, parent, or trusted adult, like Malala, whom spread information on Muslim stereotypes and how they are not real. The example she spread was through writing a novel. She has received prizes for this book.
How to prevent the spread of misconceptions on Muslims is nearly impossible to get the message to 7.5 billion people, but we can still stop some of the majority of misconceptions going around. Using popular social media apps like Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, or Facebook can easily prevent the spread of Muslim misconceptions if you provide concrete information supporting your statement.
Without evidence, it would be hard to convert the knowledge of that person who only understands Muslims for their stereotypes to their true facts, since people can be easily manipulated. You can also spread awareness on popular places such as the news or radio stations.
Spreading the truth about Muslims might be hard for some people to understand because they only understand Muslims from their stereotypes. The truth is, Islam is just like any other religions we currently have.
Islam should be spread by messages with love and not by sword. We live in a society where some want to prevent racism, while others just hold grudges. Spreading the message with love can help us accept each other as a whole society. Of course, there is still going to be some hate in the world that cannot be erased, but at least we can build our community little by little.
Hey everyone, now it's time for Trivia with Sam. Let's review what we have learned from the documentary. We have our guest Emily with us today. First question, what was the angel's name who came down to tell Muhammad he was the prophet? Is it A, Gabriel, B, Ponticelli, C, Jason, or D, Sam?
A, Gabriel.
Correct. Second question, where did Islam begin? Is it A, Syria, B, Jerusalem, C, Mecca, or D, Canada?
I think it's B, Jerusalem.
No, actually it's C, Mecca. Third question, who was the first convert of Islam? Is it A, Abu Talib, B, Khadijah, C, Umar, or D, Uthman?
B, Khadijah.
Correct. Alright, this is the last question. Where do Muslims worship? Is it A, at a church, B, at the dentist, C, at a mosque, or D, at a synagogue?
C, at a mosque.
Correct. That's all the time we have for you now. Thank you for tuning in to Trivia with Sam.
Hi, my name is Lily, and I'm here with Miss Khan.
Hi, Lily. I'm a teacher on, my name is Miss Khan. I'm a teacher on 7 Gold.
So why do you think people make misconceptions about Muslims?
I think a lot of misconceptions have to do with the media and what the media portrays of Muslims around the world. Unfortunately, I think a lot of places where Islam is practiced around the world, there's a mix of the culture, and people have a hard time separating the culture from the faith, and they see it as all one big category. So I think that Islam that is practiced here in America, actually, amongst a lot of American Muslims, is more true to the religion versus where it's practiced in other parts of the world where it's been part of the culture in the country for so long. But because Islam in America is, I guess, younger, it hasn't been, there haven't been as many Muslims in America for as long. I think that people have had to find the faith on their own, and it's a truer image of the religion.
Do you ever feel discriminated? If so, how do you handle it?
So I would say on a daily basis I do not feel discriminated. There are times where I have been, I guess, harassed in some ways. A lot of times it happens when I'm driving, for instance. I don't know why, but in the past I've had people pull up next to me, roll down their window, say all kinds of evil things, and so that's been difficult. It happened a lot more after 9/11, and I think that was because a lot of people didn't really understand the faith, didn't really know much about Islam. But over time, I think there has been a lot of change and a lot of growth and understanding, and especially given the political climate in the past 2 years or so, there has been a lot more Muslim representation in American culture, and I think that has both brought out the good and the bad. But I think overall it's getting better than it was before.
And now back to the video.
Thank you for watching our documentary on Islam. We hope this was educational and that this information could be used to inform others. This is 8 White, Group A.